The patch notes just got released, and now we can really see if our predictions came true. In this video I'm gonna go over the entire patch, see what got buffed and what got nerfed, and I'm gonna try and speculate what that could mean for the meta. So if you're serious about Hearthstone, drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget you can hire for some Hearthstone coaching. And you can support me on Patreon if you wish. Now, let's check out the patch.
You are not prepared!
Okay, so we're starting off with the updates. The following cards have been adjusted to be weaker. Def comment, the standard metagame has a variety of decks that are feeling balanced against one another. Because of that, we're only changing a couple of cards that are leading to unhealthy play patterns that we want to address. Tidepool Pupil is quite strong and is allowing decks to copy key cards too easily and play them too many times per game. We hope this change doesn't delete the card from the metagame entirely, but does make it less effective as an enabler for combos and spells that are particularly effective when repeated many times per game. Doomkin isn't as much a statistical outlier, but is causing more frustration. The card seems to have overstayed its welcome, so we are slowing it down by a turn to decrease its popularity. Okay, and the first change goes from 1 mana 2/1 to a 2 mana 2/2. This is basically what I proposed as well. This is basically gonna delete Miracle Rogue as far as I'm concerned. The big part of their infinite combo was being able to repeat this with Sonya easily, and now with this being a 2 mana, Sonya's just not gonna repeat it. So I, for one, am definitely happy about this change, because I couldn't stand that deck and I never really bothered trying it myself, because it's just obviously toxic playstyle that could not have remained in Hearthstone for too long, and I'm happy to see this one. The other change is Doomkin. It comes from a 6 mana 3/4, now goes up to a 7 mana 4/5, and I can understand this one. This still doesn't really remove the frustration of this card being copied with things like Dorian, and you're still going to be able to have like 12 mana when the opponent has 4, so I don't know. I don't really think this is going to change all that much for this card. It's still going to be super frustrating to play against. You're still going to be able to play it on turn 6 with the help of Summerflower Child. So yeah, it's going to be harder to just play it straight up, but it's still going to be leading to some very annoying situations, and even though it's 1 turn later, you're still going to be able to abuse this card because of things like New Heights allowing you to have up to 13, 16 mana. It's not going to be a problem for you, so Doomkin coming a turn late is not going to really deny you that extra benefit of gaining mana while taking one from the opponent too. Def comment, on the wild side, we've identified a few play patterns that are over the line even for the powerful wild format. Secret Passage has been a focal point across almost all rogue decks since its creation, enabling an unhealthy power level across the class as a whole. On top of that, Wild Pot Null could too easily be played on turn 1, keeping opponents from developing onto the board from the start of the game. This change makes the turn 1 null less common and makes playing multiple nulls less efficient. The sheer volume of spells that Sorcerer's Apprentice allows is something we think should be addressed, so we're making it no longer go to 0, finally. And with that change, we think it's safe to return to its original mana cost. Okay, so again, no surprises here, literally what I said. Wild Paw Null becomes a 6 mana. This is gonna deny them from actually doing turn 1 double null like that with the help of the 1 mana pack. Now it's gonna only drop to 1 mana, still pretty busted if you ask me, but I guess for a while it can stay. Secret Passage also goes up to 2 mana, same as what I predicted, and we also finally get the frickin' spells can't cost less than 1, which is honestly something that a lot of cards need in Hearthstone in order for the game to feel a bit more healthier if you ask me, but you're not asking me, are ya? Okay, the above disenchantable cards will be eligible for a full dust refund for 2 weeks following patch 30.2.2. Okay, so yeah, write refund in your My Collection tab, and if you're not using the cards literally right now, it's always a good idea to disenchant those. If you're a wild player and have some of these, not that bad to get some epic dust from Secret Passage. Wild Pawn also gives 100 a pop or 800 a pop if you have it golden. And we also see Doomkin is a rare, and Tidepool is sadly just a common, but still, free dust is free dust. Moving down to the buffs, and we're starting off with Treasure Hunter Eudora. Again, this is what I proposed. It's going down to 5 mana, same stats, same everything, so I'm not sure if it's gonna become much of a deck still. It's probably gonna be a more meme deck than anything else, but I guess it has a little bit extra potential this way. Who knows, we might actually see something somewhat competitive with this as well. Next up is Maestra, Mask Merchant. She is the Warlock Tourist, and she is also going down to 5 mana instead of 6, same stats, same everything. It might help. Not sure. Does Rogue really need anything from Warlock? I guess time will tell. The card on its own is also kind of cool, like definitely pretty fun getting yourself some extra hero cards and whatnot, but I don't know. Again, time will tell about that one. Metal Detector, I literally was thinking about everything else except for the attack increase, and I guess that's the worst, the least buff the card could get, honestly, but I guess with the bigger attack you're going to be able to kill stuff a lot more easily, so I guess that could help Lionessa Pally a little bit more, but I feel like the deck needs a little bit more than just this. We will have to see how that one pans out. Moving down to Furious Foul, I was actually going to bed and for some reason thought about this card again after the patch video. And I was like, wait, can they make them into free freeze actually? That could be kind of cool because they are having immune and whatnot, and that's exactly what ended up happening, and that's something I didn't even talk about in the video. But yeah, this is somewhat of a cool buff to the card because it's gonna make these chickens a little bit harder to kill, and like I said, they could be pretty annoying to deal with because they have immune on them forever, not just for the effect of the spell, so that is definitely kind of cool. And I guess Furious Foul could start being a little bit more usable in things like Highlander Hunter, and the deck Highlander Hunter as a whole should get a little bit more used now because also Mystery Egg is going down to 4 mana. Definitely no surprises here. And another thing we managed to get correctly is Fetch is also going down to 1 mana, same effect, so 1 mana draw minion, definitely not bad. And if it's a beast bonus, you get a beast, you get a draw spell like that. So that is definitely pretty hot. And yeah, we should be seeing a lot more of this card now in basically any deck. Like, even if you're just running a few beasts, 1 mana draw card is not the worst in the world, even in today's day and age. Right Cleaver, the sandwich is going to start costing 3 mana. I think this changes absolutely nothing for the card. It's still going to be pretty much garbage. So I don't know how I feel about that too much. Food Fight, it's going to be only a 0/4 now. When it dies, still summons a minion from your deck. Not sure if the health total of the card is the real issue of the card. It's more of the random stuff on it, but I don't know. Maybe it's going to help something. Probably not, but who knows. A warrior can dream. Boom Wrench is also going down to a 3 mana weapon. That should definitely be a lot easier for them to be equipping, so maybe this is going to be decent support for something like Mech Warrior indeed. So we might start seeing a little bit more of that, maybe with combination of the Food Fight, heck, maybe even with the Right Cleaver, because a lot of the mechs are actually pretty chunky Death Rattle idiots, so all of these are supporting that archetype. The Water Cooler Artist also, the buff is the same as what I expected. I don't get it, honestly. Does this really change anything? 4 mana 4/4 into a 3 mana 3/3. Maybe it's gonna be a little bit easier for them to drop this thing down, but I guess it might. But I really feel like Mage is needing a little bit more than that to really feel better right now, so I guess we'll see how that one goes. Raella Sand Sculptor, she used to be a 2/5, now she's going to be a 2/6 like Dorian, so she is going to be a little bit harder to actually deal with. This could be interesting, definitely could be interesting for mages to be actually able to do something with a card like this. But I don't know, I really don't know what kind of deck is going to be using this card right now. Definitely should be seeing something around this card getting developed. Some kind of flood mage might actually emerge out of this, but I'm not too big on the deck building aspect, so I'm gonna have to wait and see what other creators figure out with this one. We also have the Marooned Archmage. Old was a 3/3, now it's gonna be a 3/4. Well, I mean, I guess it's also gonna be a little bit harder to deal. This on tempo is going to be kind of cool, like turn 3 you get to also weave in a 2 mana spell like that. Could be an interesting card indeed, but I'm not sure what type of deck is going to be using it. I guess same kind of deck like Rayla, but we will see how that goes. Then we also have DJ Mana Storm losing 1 Mana Crystal. Again, I'm not sure this is really going to change much for the card. It's still going to be a pretty unusable for a while, I'd say. Maybe in the future when Mage gets more support on this front, but for now I don't think this is going to be doing too much. It's just turn 9. When was the last time people saw turn 9 in Hearthstone, realistically? And Syzygy is kind of getting some cool stuff as well. She used to be a 4-mana 4-free, Death Rattle get free random cards, and now she's gonna be Battle Cry, Outcast, and Death Rattle, get a random 1st edition Demon Hunter card. This is definitely cool because you don't really need all those free cards at the same time. It's definitely gonna be a lot easier for you to utilize them like this with Battle Cry and Outcast. They're gonna be coming to you at the same time, if you're lucky enough to have it Outcast, that is. And with the Death Rattle, you get to have time to play another cool, potentially Outcast card later as well. Should be interesting to see if this really makes a difference. Highlander Demon Hunter is pretty dog water right now, if we gotta be completely honest, mainly because the Highlander payoff card is pretty much doing nothing in most cases if you're playing against a deck that has decently statted minions. But yeah, the card is definitely cool, so helping it seeing a little bit more meta deck gameplay is definitely okay in my book. That's about it for Standard. Definitely felt a lot shorter than the patch preview, the patch teaser that is. But all around, from the nerfs, we can definitely see that Miracle Rogue is gonna be out of the equation now. We should probably see less of this guy in things like Death Knights, because they were starting to utilize it a little bit. They still probably could, if we gotta be completely honest. But right now, honestly, Death Knight is using basically anything he wants. The core of the deck is so strong, so these are just supplementary cards they can weave in and not care about it too much. Doomkin, I still believe that the Dragon Druid who utilizes this card is going to remain pretty strong, and is still going to be using this card pretty much for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Do let me know what you guys think this is going to mean for the meta. I'm not sure if the buffs are doing all that much for the classes they're targeting. Hunter, we should definitely see a little bit more Highlander Hunter, that's for sure. Mech Warrior should also be somewhat more usable. It's almost a deck, but not quite, so these free nerfs might actually help it decently well. With Mage, Raela definitely sounds like she could unlock some hidden potential for the class right now. And with Demon Hunter, I'm not really sure that Syzygy is gonna start seeing much play just yet, but maybe with time she is gonna have her time to shine as well. So that's going to be it for the patch review. I am going live on Twitch right now with another coaching session, so I would love to see you guys there. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video and found what I'm doing helpful, drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget you can have some Hearthstone coaching. Thanks for watching, I'm Kris05, and I'll see you in my next video or stream.